This video is about the seamstress sat alone, but the millionaire gave her a fortune. If this story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. The sun dipped low in the sky, wrapping the small town of Willow Creek in hues of orange and gold. Among the bustling streets and laughter of children playing outside, in a dimly lit room at the back of a quaint shop, sat Alara, the seamstress. Her hands moved rhythmically, weaving threads with the precision of a dancer, but her heart carried a weight that was far from light. Alara had always been gifted with the needle and thread. From a young age, she transformed scraps of fabric into beautiful garments. Her mother would often say, "Every stitch tells a story, my love." But lately, Alara felt like her own story was unraveling. The once thriving shop her mother had opened was now struggling to stay afloat, and the burden of responsibility pressed down on her fragile shoulders. "Alara, can you fix this dress before tomorrow?" Mrs. Peterson, her oldest customer, called from the front of the shop, holding a faded blue gown that had seen better days. "Of course, Mrs. Peterson," Alara replied, forcing a smile. The woman's eyes sparkled with hope, and Alara felt a flicker of warmth in her chest. It was moments like these that reminded her why she loved her craft even in the face of hardship. Still, there were days when the weight of despair felt insurmountable. The bills piled up, and her mother's absence was a constant ache in her heart. She could almost hear her mother's soft laughter echoing in the space, guiding her through the patterns and fabrics. But without her, Alara felt lost, as if she were sewing without a fabric to hold on to. That evening, as she meticulously repaired the gown, Alara's thoughts drifted to the community fair that was approaching. Each year, local artisans displayed their work, a celebration of creativity and resilience. It was a chance to connect, to share joys and struggles, and to inspire one another. But Alara hesitated this time. What if no one wanted to see her work? What if she failed? She sighed and placed the final stitches in the gown, admiring her handiwork. There was beauty in the transformation, and she couldn't deny it. The thought of sharing that beauty with others stirred something deep within her. The fear held her back. "Hey, Laura!" A voice broke through her thoughts. It was Leo, her childhood friend, with a bounce in his step. "You coming to the fair, right? I'll be there with my sculptures. We've got to support each other." Alara hesitated. "I am not sure, Leo. I don't know if anyone would be interested in my work." "Are you kidding? Your creations are incredible." Leo's enthusiasm was infectious. "Just think about it. You have a gift, Alara. Don't let fear steal that from you." His words lingered in the air like a gentle breeze. Perhaps it was time to push through the discomfort. Perhaps it was time to believe again. As the days passed, Alara decided she would attend the fair. The night of the fair, the town glowed with excitement. Strings of lights hung from the trees, illuminating stalls bursting with vibrant colors. Alara stood behind her booth, her heart racing. Her eyes scanned the crowd, searching for familiar faces. "Look, it is Alara," a voice called, pulling her from her thoughts. Mrs. Peterson approached, along with a few neighbors. They admired her creations, their eyes sparkling with appreciation. "Your work is breathtaking," Mrs. Peterson exclaimed, holding up a delicate dress adorned with intricate embroidery. "I can't believe you made this." As the evening unfolded, Alara found herself surrounded by people who appreciated her artistry. Each compliment fueled her confidence, and slowly, she began to share her story. Her struggles and triumphs flowed effortlessly, igniting a sense of connection among those who listened. Then, amidst the laughter and conversations, a figure caught her eye. A man in a tailored suit standing out among the crowd. He surveyed the booths with an air of curiosity, but there was something more to him, a warmth that radiated from within. "Excuse me," he said, approaching Alara's booth. "I am Sebastian. Your work is truly remarkable." "Thank you," Alara stammered, feeling her cheeks flush. She wasn't used to such high praise from someone who appeared to have everything. "I am always on the lookout for unique pieces for my charity events," he continued, his eyes gleaming with sincerity. "I think your creations would resonate with many." Alara's heart skipped a beat. Charity events? She had spent so much time focusing on survival that the thought of contributing to something larger felt surreal. "I'd love to help, but I am not sure how much I can offer." "Every little bit counts," Sebastian replied, his voice steady and reassuring. "Your talent can inspire others and make a difference. You have a gift that shouldn't be hidden away." In that moment, in the midst of laughter and celebration, Alara felt a shift within her. The burden of fear began to lift, replaced by a growing sense of purpose. This was more than just stitches and fabric. It was about connection, about using her gift to touch lives. As the fair came to a close, Sebastian offered Alara a card. Let us keep in touch. I believe we can create something magical together. After he left, Alara sat alone at her booth, her heart racing with excitement and anxiety. She had lived in shadows for too long, and now the light was beckoning her forward. The possibilities felt endless, like a vast sky waiting to be explored. Hey, you did great tonight. Theo beamed, appearing beside her. I told you they'd love your work. Alara smiled, the warmth of the moment enveloping her. I never thought I'd feel this way again. It is like I've been given a second chance. That is the spirit. Let us keep pushing, keep creating. You're not alone in this, Leo said, wrapping an encouraging arm around her shoulders. He pointed towards the crowd. Look at all those people who believe in you. With each passing day, as the sun rose and set over Willow Creek, Alara began to embrace her gifts again. The weight of her mother's absence remained, but she felt her spirit guiding her, encouraging her to rise, to weave her dreams into reality. Through late nights of sewing, laughter shared with friends, and the promise of new beginnings, Alara discovered the beauty of resilience. She learned that even in moments of solitude, she wasn't truly alone. The world was full of kindred spirits waiting to uplift one another. The fair was just the beginning. As she prepared for the next chapter of her journey, surrounded by the threads of hope, Alara knew she was ready to sew something extraordinary. After all, every stitch tells a story, and hers was only just beginning. Asterisk to be continued. Asterisk. Days turned into weeks, and the vibrant colors of autumn began to paint Willow Creek with nature's brush. Alara busied herself with new projects, taking inspiration from the beauty around her. Each morning, she awoke with a renewed sense of purpose, a feeling she hadn't experienced in some time. One crisp morning, as the sun peeked over the horizon, Alara decided to take a walk, hoping to clear her mind. The air was brisk, and leaves crunched beneath her feet as she meandered through the town. Suddenly, she spotted Mrs. Peterson sitting on her porch, a familiar smile lighting up her face. Alara, come here. Mrs. Peterson called, her arms waving excitedly. Alara approached, the warmth of a woman's kindness wrapping around her like a soft blanket. Good morning, how are you today? I am wonderful. The fair changed our little town. Don't you think, she said, her eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. People are talking about your work all around. You've inspired so many. Alara felt a blush creep into her cheeks. Thank you, Mrs. Peterson. I am just doing what I love. Love? Mrs. Peterson echoed, shaking her head playfully. No, my dear, you've done something much greater. You've ignited a flame in others. You've shown them the magic of creativity. Alara looked down at her hands, recalling the fear that had once paralyzed her. I didn't realize how much I needed that support until the fair. Support is everything, the older woman said, her gaze steady. You have a gift, Alara. Don't forget that. That day, inspired by Mrs. Peterson's words and the recent success at the fair, Alara returned to her sewing machine with a newfound vigor. She poured her heart into a new design, a collection of soft, flowing dresses inspired by the autumn colors around her. As she stitched, she thought of Sebastian and the card he had given her. Perhaps it was time to reach out. With trembling fingers, she took out a piece of paper and began to craft a message, sharing her ideas for unique pieces for charity events. After pondering every word carefully, she pressed send on her email. The next few days were a whirlwind of creativity and anticipation. She received a reply from Sebastian that very evening, his excitement palpable in every word. I can't wait to see our new designs. Let us meet to discuss how we can collaborate and make a real difference. Alara's heart raised at the prospect of working with him. The meeting took place in a cozy cafe, the walls adorned with local artwork, filled with a comforting aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Your email was inspiring, Sebastian began, his voice warm. I can see how passionate you are about this. The world needs more of that. Thank you, Alara said, feeling a flush of warmth at the compliment. I want to create something beautiful that reflects the spirit of this town. It has given me so much. The conversation flowed easily, ideas bouncing back and forth like vibrant thread on a sewing machine. They discussed the potential of organizing a charity fashion show, showcasing Alara's designs and raising funds for local families in need. The idea took root in Alara's heart, blooming like the flowers that would soon give way to winter. As the days turned into weeks, Alara dove into her work with unwavering dedication. The fashion show became a labor of love, an opportunity to honor her mother's legacy while helping others. The community rallied around her, offering their support, connections, and creativity. Let us use the local community center, Leo suggested one afternoon while they worked on the designs together. It'll be a perfect space to accommodate everyone. That's a great idea. Alara agreed, her eyes sparkling with excitement. And we could include a segment where local kids share their art between the models. Absolutely, let us showcase all the talent in Willow Creek, Leo said enthusiastically. He was always able to lift her spirits, reminding her of the beauty in collective effort. However, as the date of the fashion show drew nearer, Alara felt the old shadow of self-doubt creeping back into her mind. Late one night, surrounded by fabric swatches and sketches, she sank into a chair, overwhelmed. What if people don't like my designs? What if I fail? She whispered to herself, her heart racing. Suddenly her phone buzzed, disrupting her spiral of worries. It was a message from Sebastian. You're doing incredible work, Alara. Remember, this isn't just about the clothes, it is about the stories we tell through them. His words echoed in her mind, reminding her that she was not alone. She took a deep breath, pushing through the anxiety that had gripped her. She thought of Mrs. Peterson, Leo, and the community that stood behind her, ready to embrace her vulnerability. The fashion show day arrived, and Alara stood backstage, her hands trembling as models prepared to walk the runway in her designs. The chatter of excitement reverberated through the community center, and Alara felt a mixture of exhilaration and dread. Just breathe, Alara, you've got this, Leo said, giving her a reassuring smile, his confidence contagious. As the lights dimmed and the first model stepped onto the runway, Alara's heart raced. Each outfit was met with applause, and laughter echoed through the center. She watched, breathless, as her creations came to life, the fabric swirling around the models as they moved gracefully. Then it happened. A hush fell over the audience when a little girl, holding a bouquet of wildflowers, appeared on stage wearing one of Alara's designs. She was beaming, her joy infectious. Alara's heart swelled with emotion, and tears brimmed at her eyes. She realized at that moment that the show wasn't just about selling clothes, it was about building community, about inspiring everyone to carry their stories forward. After the show, people swarmed Alara, congratulating her and sharing how her work had resonated with them. Each kind word filled her with warmth and a renewed sense of purpose. Sebastian approached, his smile wide. You did it, Alara. The response was incredible. You've created something truly special. Thank you, Sebastian. I couldn't have done it without your support, she said, feeling the depth of gratitude in her heart. As they stood amidst the celebration, Alara looked around at the smiling faces, neighbors, friends, and even strangers sharing in this joyful moment. She felt her mother's spirit, guiding her as she dared to weave her dreams into reality. But just as her heart soared, a sudden thought intruded. What will happen next? Can I keep this momentum going? Fear threatened to choke her joy. Hey, Leo said, sensing her worry. You're just getting started. This is your moment to shine, and we're all here to support you. Alara smiled, taking in the community around her. She had spent too long in shadow, but she realized with each stitch she was sewing threads of hope, weaving connections that would last a lifetime. With the fashion show behind her, Alara continued to design, but now she had a mission to uplift others as she had been uplifted. She organized workshops for local artisans, providing a space for them to share their skills and stories, creating a tapestry of creativity and resilience. As winter approached, the town transformed into a wonderland of twinkling lights and laughter. Alara felt a new chapter unfolding in her life, one where fear didn't define her anymore. Instead, she embraced it as a catalyst for growth, a bridge leading her toward the beauty of the human spirit. One evening, she gathered the kids who had participated in her workshops and invited them to showcase their artwork in her shop. She wanted them to experience the joy of creation, just as she had. As the children shared their stories and art, Alara marveled at their innocent resilience. They reminded her that even the smallest voices could create ripples of change. And in that moment, surrounded by laughter and color, she understood that life's greatest fabric is woven from the threads of hope, kindness, and connection. Alara had started out as a seamstress who sat alone, but now she was a chapter in a larger story, a tale of community, where every stitch, every thread, every heartbeat sang the melodies of resilience and love. And as she looked toward the future, she realized that her story was just beginning, one filled with purpose, passion, and the beauty of the human spirit. Asterisk to be continued asterisk. As winter settled over Willow Creek, Alara found herself enveloped in a world transformed by snowflakes and twinkling lights. She stood in her small shop, a familiar scent of fabric and thread mixing with the crisp winter air that whistled outside. Alara had to remind herself that she wasn't just a seamstress anymore. She was a weaver of dreams, a creator of opportunities. One chilly evening, she sat at her sewing machine, stitching intricate details into a new dress designed for an upcoming winter gala that Sebastian had organized to raise funds for local families. Her fingers moved deftly, the rhythm familiar and soothing. Yet, beneath the surface, a current of nervous energy pulsed through her veins. "Why does this still scare me?" she muttered, pausing to glance at the mirror across the room. She took a deep breath, reminding herself of all the support she had received. "You're not alone, Alara, you've got this." The door of the shop jingled, and Leo stepped in, shaking the snowflakes off his scarf. "Hey, you ready for the gala? I brought cookies," he exclaimed, holding out a small box, the aroma of cinnamon and sugar wafting through the air. Alara's lips curled into a smile as she accepted the box. "You know the way to my heart, Leo, thank you." She took a bite of the cookie, savoring the sweetness. "Delicious, right? I figured you could use a little treat to fuel your creativity," he said, leaning against the counter. "But seriously, you're going to knock everyone's socks off at this gala?" Alara laughed, the sound light and airy, a momentary relief from her anxious thoughts. "I hope so. It's just the pressure feels intense. What if I disappoint everyone?" Leo shook his head firmly. "You're not going to disappoint anyone. Remember the fashion show? You've built a community around you, one that believes in you. This is your chance to shine even brighter." I know. Alara nodded, grateful for his unwavering belief. "But what if something goes wrong? What if no one likes my new designs?" "Then they want you like them, and that's okay," Leo said with a shrug. "What is important is that you poured your heart into this, that's what people will connect with, the love and effort you stitched into every piece." Alara appreciated his perspective, and as her heart warmed, she felt a flicker of resolve ignite within. "You're right. I just need to focus on bringing beauty into the world." "Exactly. Now, let us make sure you have everything sorted for the gala. I'll help you with the setup," Leo said with a contagious enthusiasm. As the days wound closer to the gala, Lara transformed her shop into a vibrant showcase of her designs. She hung soft lights across the walls, creating an inviting atmosphere where art and joy coalesced. The town buzzed with anticipation, the community eager to support their seamstress who had become a beacon of hope and creativity. On the night of the gala, Alara stood at the entrance of the community center, her heart pounding like a drum. The space glimmered with decorations, golden ribbons and shimmering ornaments adorned every corner, while the aroma of warm cider and baked goods filled the air. Friends and neighbors mingled, their laughter ringing like music. "Off!" Mrs. Peterson spotted her and rushed over, her cheeks rosy with excitement. "You look stunning tonight. The dress is beautiful." "Thank you, Mrs. Peterson. It means so much to have your support," Alara replied, her heart swelling with gratitude. As the evening unfolded, she mingled with guests, watching their faces light up upon seeing her design showcased beautifully on the runway. Each smile, each compliment was like a warm hug, wrapping her in affection. But amid the joyous atmosphere, a doubt still loomed in her mind. "Hey, how are you holding up?" Leo sidled up next to her, sensing her unease. Alara sighed, glancing around the room. "I am just worried that I might fall short. What if I don't meet their expectations?" "Listen," Leo said, tilting her chin so she would meet his eyes. "You've already exceeded expectations by being here, sharing your gift. You're brave for putting your heart out there. That's what truly matters." His words calmed her racing heart, and she took a deep breath, allowing the warmth of his encouragement to settle within her. "You're right, Leo. Thank you for always being my anchor." As the night progressed, Sebastian stepped onto the makeshift stage, his presence commanding attention. "Thank you all for coming tonight. We're here not just to celebrate creativity, but to uplift our community. Alara's designs embody the spirit of Willow Creek, and every piece sold tonight will support families in need." The applause that followed filled Alara with pride. She watched as each model stepped forward, showcasing her creations. The delicate fabrics flowed elegantly, each stitch telling a story of resilience, hope, and love, a reflection of her journey. But then, just as she felt herself soaring on the wings of encouragement, the unthinkable happened. One of the models tripped, stumbling into the backdrop that crumpled and fell, sending ornaments crashing to the ground. Gasps filled the room, and Alara's heart dropped. "Is everyone okay?" she yelled, rushing toward the scene. The model, a young woman named Mia, sat up, brushing the dust off her dress. "I am fine, just embarrassed," she said sheepishly, though her smile was bright. Alara knelt beside her. "Are you sure? That was a pretty painful fall." "I am okay, really," Mia assured her, a sparkle of determination in her eyes. "I am not going to let a little trip ruin this night." Alara felt her heart swell with admiration. You're remarkable. Let us get you back up there. As the audience buzzed with concern, Lara took Mia's hand, helping her rise. Let us do this together. The two women exchanged a look of solidarity, and with a nod, they stepped back onto the runway, the audience erupting into applause. Their courage ignited the room, and Lara felt a surge of joy. The night was not about perfection, it was about resilience, connection, and the beauty of being human. As they walked hand in hand, Alara realized that her journey was not just about her own struggles but about uplifting others as well. After the last model took her turn, a standing ovation followed, and Alara was overwhelmed by love and support. As she took to the stage to thank everyone, her hands trembled slightly, but her voice remained strong. Thank you for believing in me. This evening is proof that we can weave together our stories, creating something magical. Sebastian stepped forward, his eyes shining with pride. Alara, you've done more than just create fashion tonight. You've rewoven a community of hope and inspiration. With a blush creeping into her cheeks, Alara took in the faces around her, each one filled with warmth and gratitude. She realized in that moment that she was no longer just a seamstress, she was a storyteller, crafting connections and fabricating dreams. As the night came to a close, the atmosphere buzzed with excitement, and the community center echoed with laughter and joy. Alara felt an exhilarating sense of accomplishment, but she also knew this was just the beginning of her journey. In the days that followed, her shop flourished, filled with laughter and creativity. She continued to mentor local artisans, encouraging them to share their gifts and create connections within the community. Every workshop felt like a celebration, a reminder that together, they could inspire one another to reach new heights. One afternoon, while working on a new design, a familiar face entered her shop. It was Mrs. Peterson, holding a small bundle of fabric. Alara, I've been inspired by your journey. I want to contribute. Can you help me create something special for the town? Tears sprinked at the corners of Alara's eyes. This was the magic she had hoped for, a ripple effect of kindness and creativity spreading through Willow Creek, uniting everyone in the pursuit of their dreams. Of course, Mrs. Peterson, let us make something beautiful together, Alara said, her heart overflowing with gratitude. As they began to stitch, Alara felt a sense of belonging she had longed for. She understood that the beauty of her journey lay not only in her own transformation, but in the collective strength of the community surrounding her. Every thread she sewed now told a story of resilience, kindness, and unity, and Alara knew she was merely a messenger of hope. Through their shared efforts, they were not just creating garments, they were stitching together the fabric of their lives, fostering connections that would endure through every season. And so, as winter melted into spring, Alara stood at the forefront of an evolving tapestry, a vibrant, ever-expanding story of the human spirit. She had stepped beyond the shadows of her past, embracing the light of her journey, and she was determined to help others do the same. In the heart of Willow Creek, where every stitch told a story, Alara's tale continued to unfold, woven together with threads of hope, resilience, and unwavering love. And as she looked toward the horizon, she knew that the best was yet to come, a celebration of life's possibilities, where every heart could find. As winter melted into spring, the air in Willow Creek blossomed with the promise of rebirth. Alara stood in her little shop, the windows open to welcome the gentle breeze that carried the scent of blooming flowers and fresh earth. It was a stark contrast to the cold months spent indoors, filled with the warmth of community and the glow of hope. The past few months had transformed her life in ways she could hardly comprehend. The success of the charity gala had not only showcased her work, but had also ignited a sense of purpose within her heart. Alara was no longer just sewing garments, she was stitching together dreams, stories, and lives. Hey, Laurel. Leo burst through the door, sunlight spilling into the shop behind him. Guess what? The town council approved the community art festival. We re-in. Alara's eyes widened, her heart racing with excitement. Really? That is amazing. I can't believe it is finally happening. She wiped her hands on her apron and rushed to join him at the counter, where he stood grinning from ear to ear. Of course, I told them how much your designs inspired the town last winter. They couldn't say no. Leo beamed, his enthusiasm infectious. We'll have local artisans, musicians, food stalls, and your fashion showcase. It'll be the highlight of spring. Alara's mind whirled with possibilities. We could do workshops, we can involve the kids, invite everyone to showcase their talents, and create something beautiful together. You're onto something, Leo said, nodding fervently. Let us make this a celebration of creativity. We can even have a mural that everyone contributes to. This will be a chance for the whole town to come together. As they brainstormed ideas, Alara felt the familiar flutter of excitement. Yet, just beneath the surface, a shadow of doubt whispered, What if it is too ambitious? What if it all falls apart? She shook her head, brushing away the negative thoughts like cobwebs. This was her moment to shine, and she wouldn't let fear dim the light. In the weeks that followed, Ilara's shop buzzed with activity. She gathered local artisans to discuss their participation, and the response was overwhelming. Each person brought their unique skills, from painting to pottery, and every conversation ignited a spark of inspiration. They were a tapestry of talents, woven together with shared dreams. Let us meet every week to plan, Ilara suggested during one gathering. We can coordinate our efforts and support one another as we create. Mrs. Peterson, who had become a cherished mentor and friend, nodded enthusiastically. That is a wonderful idea, dear. Together, we can make this festival a true reflection of our community's spirit. Ilara felt warmth flood her heart. She was no longer alone in her journey. The collective energy fueled her passion, and she spent long nights sketching designs and planning workshops. But the weight of responsibility loomed large. What if they didn't meet the community's expectations? What if she let everyone down? One evening, as she stitched late into the night, her thoughts spiraled, and she put down her needle in frustration. Just then, her phone buzzed with a message from Sebastian. Ilara, remember that every stitch is a step forward. You're rebuilding something beautiful. Keep going. His words struck a chord. Every stitch is a step forward, she whispered, repeating it like a mantra. She returned to her work, determined to push through the fear. As the festival date neared, Ilara summoned more courage than she knew she possessed. She focused on uplifting the artisans around her, reminding them of their worth and talent. We were not just showcasing our work, we were recreating a legacy, she said in one of their meetings, her voice steady. Let us share our stories, our struggles, and our triumphs. When the festival day finally arrived, the sun shone brightly over Willow Creek, painting a perfect backdrop for a celebration. Colorful banners fluttered in a gentle breeze, and laughter rang out like music, echoing through the streets as families gathered to partake in the festivities. Ilara stood at her booth, surrounded by her designs, her heart racing with excitement and trepidation. This is it, she murmured to herself, taking a deep breath. I can do this. Say. Leo appeared beside her, holding a steaming cup of cider. You look incredible. The energy here is electric. It is. I can hardly believe it's all happening, Ilara replied, glancing around at the laughter and joy surrounding her. But what if no one likes my designs? Stop that right now, Leo said, his tone firm but gentle. Remember, this is about connection and sharing. You've already won by bringing everyone together. As the festival unfolded, Ilara watched children paint murals, women share their stories through art, and musicians fill the air with melodies. The community buzzed with excitement, embracing creativity in all its forms. Then came the moment for her fashion showcase. She stood backstage, her heart pounding, surrounded by models wearing her designs. You all look beautiful, she said, her voice trembling with anticipation. Let us make this a moment of joy for everyone. The lights dimmed, and the runway sparkled with life as the models stepped forward, showcasing the intricacy of Ilara's work. Each dress flowed like whispers of the past, telling stories of hope, resilience, and love. The audience erupted into applause, and Ilara's heart soared. But mid-show, a little girl in the front row raised her hand, tugging at her mother's sleeve. Mommy, look, she exclaimed, pointing at the designs. That dress is just like the one I drew. Ilara's breath caught in her throat. The girl's innocence and excitement reminded her of her own childhood, the joy of creation that had once sparked her journey. After the final model stepped off the runway, Ilara rushed toward the girl, kneeling beside her. What is your name, sweetheart? Leela, the girl beamed, twirling in her chair. I love your dresses. Can I make one too? Absolutely. Come see me in my shop anytime, Ilara replied, her heart swelling with joy. You can help me design something special. The little girl's eyes lit up, and Ilara felt a wave of warmth wash over her. This was why she had poured her heart into the festival, to inspire future generations, just as she had been inspired. After the show, the crowd swarmed around Ilara, showering her with compliments and gratitude. The energy of the festival swelled around her, filling her with hope and strength. She felt the spirit of her mother lifting her, guiding her, and whispering words of encouragement. I knew you could do it. Leo cheered, pulling her into a celebratory hug. You recreated magic here, Ilara. In that moment, surrounded by friends and community, she realized that the festival was more than just an event. It was a celebration of connection, of resilience, and of the human spirit. She had created a platform for others to share their stories and dreams, and it filled her with purpose. As the sun began to set, casting it a golden hue over the festival, Alara gathered everyone for a final moment. "Thank you all for being here today," she said, her voice steady yet full of emotion. "This is just the beginning. Together, we can continue to uplift one another, inspire creativity, and weave a tapestry of hope in our community." Cheers erupted around her, and tears of joy filled her eyes. She had come so far from a seamstress who sat alone, and now she was surrounded by a family of dreamers. In the weeks that followed, Alara expanded the workshop she had started, welcoming anyone who wanted to learn. People of all ages came eager to create and share. Layla frequently joined, her laughter a constant reminder of the joy of creation. Alara also continued to collaborate with Sebastian, who offered advice and support, helping her navigate the business side of her passion. Together, they brainstormed new ideas for future events, each one building upon the last. "Let us plan a quarterly art showcase," Sebastian suggested one day at the cafe. "We can invite local artists, musicians, and performers to keep this spirit alive." "Yes," Alara exclaimed, her heart racing at the thought. "We could even include charity work helping families in need." As they mapped out their plans, Alara felt a profound sense of gratitude. She had transformed her fear into fuel, and in doing so, she had ignited a fire in others. One evening, as Alara prepared for a workshop, she caught a glimpse of her reflection in the mirror. It was a reminder of her journey, the battles she had faced, the fears she had conquered, and the beauty she had created. She was not just a seamstress, she was a storyteller, weaving threads of hope into the fabric of life. As spring blossomed into summer, the community continued to flourish. Alara's shop became a haven for creativity, laughter, and connection. And with every person who walked through her doors, she felt the unmistakable beauty of the human spirit, the resilience, the kindness, and the unwavering belief that together they could make a difference. In the heart of Willow Creek, Alara's story was only just beginning, a testament to the power of hope, love, and the beauty that comes when we dare to create. She had once sat alone, but now,